Taking a look at today's equity index futures markets, let's look at the Nasdaq 100 futures as they're stemming some of the selling pressure today as we are now seeing higher prices as we move towards the close. Nasdaq 100 futures were lower 5 consecutive days, and nearing the close today, they were lower. However, late pressure, buying pressure in the markets, were able to establish some upside, and the Nasdaq futures finished higher on the session, breaking that 5-day losing streak. And looking at some of the driving factors today, really a couple things here as far as data points having an impact on the markets. Now, we did get some data points early in the day. Non-farm payrolls put some downside pressure on the markets, but then we had ISM service numbers that were weaker than anticipated, and that provided a lift to the markets for most of the day. But then as we move through the session, Fed speak and other dynamics within the market and just a general momentum over the last week put some downside pressure and did move most of the futures markets lower as we were in the afternoon. Some renewed buying pressure late in the day, able to again offset some of the selling pressure throughout the week and move the Nasdaq futures higher. Looking at the general trends, Nasdaq futures coming off of the all-time highs in that last week of December of 2023 to trade lower for 5 consecutive days. Today, finding some higher price action, but still, even with the back off in the last couple of days, the Nasdaq futures are just off of all-time highs. And we're seeing that play out in other equity index futures markets today. The Russell was the weakest performer today, showing the least relative strength, down on the day still, where you're looking at the Dow, the Nasdaq, and the S&P futures breaking that downtrend and finding some higher price action here as we close out the week.